So we're all aware of the news. Justin Gaethje thinks that it would be absolutely insane for Ilia Topuria to rematch him or even request a rematch at this point. And he thinks that his next fight will be versus Arman Tsarukyan. At least he said he'll defend the title to him. But here's my thing. I don't think Justin Gaethje should fight Arman. I think he should retire. I really do. I think it's the perfect ending to an amazing, violent career like his. Let's be real, the guy's gone through so much damage in his career, and he ends it by really just destroying the number 1/2 guy in the UFC at that point. That was insane. I don't think he needs to prove anything else. He's done everything imaginable for his career. I think he retires. But now, that being said, if he were to fight Arman, how would that go? I don't like that Arman's just been wrestling for the past year. He hasn't been striking. He hasn't been just exchanging with UFC guys. Let's be real. Yes, they're striking in the training room, but it's different when you're striking in the octagon, Yes, he looked very sharp in his last fight, but that win didn't age so well with Dan Hooker taking a loss to Benoit and just not looking good in his prior fights. I think that Arman versus Gaethje, if it were to happen this year, I don't think it'd go well for Arman. I don't. Maybe 2027, it would mean that Gaethje was inactive for almost a year, and then Arman, whatever. Let's say he fights Oliveira now and then fights Gaethje, he'd be warmed up. I'd take Arman in there. But the Gaethje that we saw last fight versus Arman, who just has not been fighting really, I don't think Arman would beat him. I think Justin Gaethje would be able to defend his title there. That being said, what I do think the UFC is gonna make, I think we're gonna see Gaethje retire. I do. I think it's the best thing to do. It makes sense. But I think we'll be seeing a title fight between Arman Tsarukyan versus either Paddy Pimblett or Charles Oliveira. More likely to be Charles Oliveira. And then we see Paddy versus Ilia. Tell me you don't like that. Tell me you don't like that. Oliveira versus Arman, I'm taking Arman all day. I still believe that Arman won the first fight confidently versus Oliveira, and I think it would happen again this time around. Then again, we need to see Arman active. I just think that he has Oliveira's card there. He has his number. Next, Ilia Topuria versus Paddy Pimblett. All of a sudden, the narrative has shifted. Now people think that Paddy would beat Ilia easily, as they're judging off Paddy's recent performance and Ilia's recent performance. I think Ilia wins that fight. Do I think if it goes to the ground, Paddy is better, much better? Yes, I do think he's much better on the ground. I do. I think we saw that in the fight at the White House. We saw his grappling isn't that good. It isn't the way people were describing it. It's good enough to neutralize Islam Makhachev. No, it isn't. Could it be good enough to neutralize Paddy Pimblett? Then again, we don't know. I think he would be able to get up, but I do think Paddy's just so much bigger than Ilia that if it were to take place on the ground and stay on the ground, it'd be a struggle for Ilia, in my opinion. He has the transitions to get off, but over a long period of time, Paddy would overwhelm him on the ground. As for the striking, it is nowhere near close. It is not close. It's not close. People are judging Ilia for his last performance because Justin Gaethje and his coach studied him very well and capitalized off of something that Justin Gaethje could capitalize off of. Because Justin Gaethje has the striking and IQ, let's be real, he has IQ to be able to capitalize off of the opportunities that Ilia Topuria gives. I don't think that in the striking realm, Paddy Pimblett could do so. So I am going to say Ilia Topuria wins this fight. I don't believe that no one could just not get knocked out. I believe if you leave your chin open that much, then you can get knocked out. So, my opinion, Ilia striking, Paddy grappling, But where do I think this fight's going to take place? I think it's going to be an ego battle. I think it's going to take place on the feet and give me Ilia Topuria. Also, remember, that fight at the White House, I'm not making an excuse for Ilia, but you got to factor in the humidity level and the fact that it was supposed to storm that night. So you got to remember, the environment is not the same as an arena. And when I think Paddy and Ilia fight, I think that the environment is going to be of an arena and not so humid like it is outdoors in America. I think Ilia Topuria would win versus Paddy Pimblett. But then again, I want to hear your predictions down below. Oh, wait. I'm not going to end the video right here. Because now we got to say, the winner of that fight, Ilia, has to fight the winner of Charles Oliveira, Arman. Arman, Ilia. How do I think that fight goes? I'm going to be real. I don't think it's going to be an ego battle. I think Arman is going to take Ilia Topuria to the ground, and I think it's going to be a really dominant performance by Arman. I think Arman is that good. I do. I think that if Arman is warmed up and has been fighting, of course, I think he would win. If I'm saying Arman versus Ilia right now, I don't think Arman would win because he's been wrestling all the time and he hasn't been fighting training in MMA really. Fighting in MMA, getting those rounds in the actual octagon with an actual atmosphere. Now I could be wrong because this is all hypothetical work, but I would favor Arman warmed up over Ilia Topuria. I think it's just more of a stylistic matchup that doesn't favor Ilia Topuria. That's just my opinion. What's yours? Make sure to comment down below. Want to hear it.